chances we'd be making love before the night is through.
This gets a little weirder.
Strangers in the night.
Oh, I got to turn
too
this.
lonely.
He's a bit loud.
Okay. I was just
So wait a minute.
I was just checking the mic.
Wait a minute.
What?
You can sing.
Let's go.
Were you like in?
I like karaoke. Okay.
Were you like in like high school choir and stuff?
I was the sound guy.
Oh wow.
Yeah. I ran the
They
spotlight.
don't let
the
fat
sound
kids
guy.
on stage.
I wasn't fat.
were
I
you fat
graduated at 153.
What'd you wrestle in high school? 152? Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I wrestled at 145.
I wrestled at junior. I wrestled 145.
What did you you didn't even, you were a pumpkin pusher.
Dude,
Oh, gosh.
I graduated from
choir boy.
yeah,
Pumpkin
I played
pusher.
basketball
Yeah.
because wrestling is gay.
No.
But I definitely
You missed your
outweighed
calling.
both of you.
You missed your
Really?
I was like whopping 157 when I graduated from high school.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, Brian.
Kind of a big deal.
When I got married,
Yeah.
I was like 180.
Dude,
Ooh.
were you like the stocky little basketball guy just weaving all over the place on the court?
Yeah, I
Like,
could jump
and you're short.
and I could push
but you could
people.
jump. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
I
I'm
have
good
a
at
feeling you
pushing
were
people.
Kind of an elbow guy.
I was more of the hips, you know,
Oh, bumping butts.
bumping,
Yeah.
that kind of
Mhm.
thing.
My
Backing
right
it
hand on
up,
my hip.
Backing it up,
Yeah.
boxing out,
Oh,
Yeah.
slamming you to the side.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
I have good low gravity, zero, like low,
You,
know.
never even
center of
tried
gravity.
wrestling.
Uh,
You probably couldn't.
no,
First
I never
practice,
really
he
did.
probably would have failed.
I never really did. I grew up in the sticks though. I didn't really think about playing basketball either. I didn't play sports
Really?
until my sophomore year in high school, and I went out
Really?
for sports for the first time.
Basketball? Just went out straight for basketball.
Yep.
No football. No nothing.
No,
Wow. And you
Oregon
actually
has,
made
like-
the team as a sophomore, never playing basketball before.
yep.
They didn't cut
It was pretty bad. They must have sucked.
No,
They
it
didn't
was.
cut anybody.
I tried out my freshman year,
Oh, and got cut.
and I never played before.
Oh.
And he's like, "You got physical talent, but you've never played basketball." We had dirt. We didn't have pavement. There was
Yeah.
no place. So I played basketball at the church when we had.
Oh,
So that's kind of my
Everybody's-
whole.
carpet.
Everybody's allowed on the church team.
Well,
That's
too.
right. So
I played basketball for the church.
so they cut me, and he's like, "You're honestly, it's too late, for you to be playing. You should have played in elementary school,
Mhm.
junior high, all this stuff." And I was like,
yeah.
or not. I could. He's like, if you can beat these guys next year, join. So then I went and tried out my sophomore year after practicing all year,
Mm,
and then I made a team, and they got cut.
nice.
Yeah, they made fun of me,
Yeah. It happens.
When you were a freshman, they made fun
They
of
made
you.
fun of me.
Of course they did.
and that pissed me off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I
Motivation.
got better, and then I beat them, and then I played through my senior year.
Sweet.
So yeah, I figure, that's the one thing about me is I don't like
To lose.
to lose, and I don't like if I decide I want to compete, then
You'll put in the work.
well, it's more like vengeance.
Whoa.
I have a bit of a vengeance streak.
Yeah.
I do.
Mhm.
I can't help it. It's okay, right?
Sometimes.
Sure.
It's kind of what helps you get motivated.
I'm not
As
sure
long
that's
as
There's a
you
little bit
use
of a
it-
dark side.
I'm not sure that's a Christ-like attribute,
Yeah.
but
As long as you use it to get better, not bitter.
Yeah, to beat other people.
that's bitter.
That's a little bitter.
That's a little bitter.
I feel ganged up on.
Hey, it's in love.
Just
Iron
saying.
sharpens iron.
Look, I have to say,
I mean, you got
when I watched Michael Jordan on
Last Dance.
The Last Dance,
Oh,
dude, that is a great series.
and I heard
great.
him talking about how he just make up slights and nurse them and remind him to get motivated.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's something you're born with or not, but I have that streak.
Yeah.
So when I listen to him talking about it, I'm like, yeah, I'm not so sure that's good for your soul, but it just makes me work harder.
Yeah.
I think that's something that you're born with, that you don't develop that.
Yeah.
You either have that or you don't.
Yeah. My wife doesn't get it. She's so sweet and kind.
Yeah,
and
she is.
She's just like, why do you want to beat him? Because he pissed me off.
Yeah.
She's just like, what? Who cares? I care.
I care.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
I get it.
No, I had that, when you're wrestling and you come up against a kid that, you can beat, but then he beats you.
Mm.
It just motivates you so much to work harder to go back, and the next time you meet him on the mat,
Payback.
yeah, payback.
Or stab him.
Cross.
I mean,
Well,
Good crossface.
Yeah.
What's that? Crossface?
Yeah,
Yeah.
crossface.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not much of a wrestler.
Crossface cradle.
Yeah.
Yeah, right into a cradle.
They love giving people bloody noses.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, if you crossface them hard, ooh, it's legal, moral,
Huh.
kind of ethical.
You got to do it. You can't wind up to do it.
No.
Then they get accused of punching. But if you can just take
Well,
it forward.
For those that are listening, I am joined tonight by Bryce Bishop and Jeff Helm.
Whoop whoop.
And we're here at the Sheep Show this weekend.
Sheep show. Yep.
And with the Peaks booth, Peaks equipment.
Yep.
And we're in the, I guess this is the Peaks after party house.
Crib. This is our crib. Yeah.
We usually have a crib at
Yeah.
every show. Peaks
Yeah.
Cribs edition.
I like it. And we sat down. We're going to sit here and we're going to talk today on this Gritty podcast episode. It's been a minute, by the way. I haven't done one in a while. It's time to get back to it.
Yeah.
So, Jeff,
So, Brian,
is your microphone close enough?
I feel like you turned me way down after that
Maybe I
whole
need to-
singing venture that I did.
There we go.
I think I
How old are you,
sing-
Jeff?
48. Be 49 in November.
48. And how many elk have you killed?
I really need to count it. It's somewhere over 30.
Show off.
Dude,
I didn't.
That's a lot of elk.
What?
With a bow. All with a bow?
hunt quieter.
I've never even.
Well, 4 were from
rifle
last year.
Four Quattro. Last year we nicknamed him Quattro. 4 bulls in 4 different states in one season.
See, you're what they said is wrong with the world today.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that. How do you feel about,
Do we have to unpack this?
yeah,
Yes.
I mean, Mark Livesey on the Peaks Thrive podcast mentioned how tags are harder to come by.
True.
And he went through it on the podcast about, some of the reasons why and so on. And it is true. And I was like, yeah, when I hear that, it makes me think that there's, they're always talking about how there's fewer hunters. But I'm like, why is it harder to get tags then? And Mark goes, because each hunter is trying to get 4 or 5 tags.
Jeff.
And then he published the podcast. And mostly what I saw in the comment section was, yeah, the issue is selfish bastards that try to get multiple elk per year. And that would be you.
Guilty.
That's all you have to say. Guilty.
And the shame?
No shame. No shame. I'm feeding the hungry. Many at my own house.
You know what?
But-
I will give Jeff that. Like,
Yeah.
I know over the course of this last year how many people he donated meat to.
Yeah.
That, struggling families, friends, whoever, that just was like,
yeah, well, you can go out and kill a cow,
I've never killed a cow.
cattle,
oh,
you know?
what's
That's
the
true.
difference? Yeah.
But so here's the problem with the whole thing, right? I started out elk hunting over 20 years ago and didn't really have the addiction to where I do now.
Yep.
So I didn't understand. Fast forward to today, like I try really hard to play the points game, figure out how to get tags. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how to get landowner tags if I can. I've never had a landowner tag or CWMUs or whatever. I mean, it's very difficult. And every year I hope that I have a tag or two. And every now and then you line things up and it all lands on the lucky number 7, and it's like, bam, you've got multiple tags. The goal is really to have like 2. If I can get 2, that'd be great.
Mhm.
I mean, I'd be happy with 1. Last year, it just really, I don't know. I mean, you put in for multiple states, don't you?
Yeah, I think I've killed 2 bulls in one season a couple of times. That's
Me too.
That's where it stopped.
I'm
3,
sorry.
never.
But you love
Well,
mule deer.
I have done 2 bow, 1 rifle kind of thing.
See, that's 3. What
That's
are you
3.
talking about? Ye
Look-
without sin cast the first stone.
Look,
Mm.
here's the truth. So Mark, by the way, Mark is out there throwing controversial podcasts out left and right on the Peaks,
It's great.
With-
Peaks platform.
With
I know,
so
right?
many tags in his pocket.
No, it's he does some serious research. It's very insightful.
It is.
He brings awareness to things. So people who haven't checked out the Thrive podcast, they need to go do it. It's always what do you call it? Like a hotbed of opinions.
Yes, controversial
Mhm.
topics.
He likes to stir the pot a little bit.
But he's done all the research
He
and
has.
the background on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, the Montana mule deer one that he did was, man, that thing lit a fire under people. I can't tell you, I've never been reached out to by a Fish and Game in Montana for a survey.
Mm-hmm.
All of a sudden, I get getting like 3 phone calls a week, and I got 2 letters in the mail, and they're just like, we'd love to talk to you and get your opinions. And I'm like, Mark, you can field all this now.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, it is true that it is harder to get a tag.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, if you give the devil his due, there's a whole community of people out there that are like, hey, it's hard to get a tag, and what we have here is a problem because everybody's made it more popular and so on.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you know, I've talked about it a number of times, and I don't know what the solution is. But one thing I think is not the solution is this idea that we all need to stop talking about how awesome hunting is.
True.
Yeah, true.
You know, like one of the things that bothers me about this idea, like a YouTuber ruined hunting for the rest of us, and there is some truth to it. Like for years, I have tried very hard not to tell you what state I'm in, where I'm hunting, like any of that stuff, because it blows up hunting spots
100%.
badly.
Yeah.
And I've experienced it personally where I showed a peak or a mountain or a trail and somebody noticed it, the whole internet knows, and now that spot's ruined. So I do think people with reach and stuff we do need to manage our, like, how much we disclose where we're at, because it can seriously impact the popularity of a certain spot. And then it draws too much attention to it. That spot's blown out, and it ruins it for people who've been hunting there for decades, right?
Yeah.
And some online guy comes along and shares it, but it doesn't even have to be that. Just some guy that shoots a record animal and then posts it where it was. It's the same thing. Like, it can happen in all corners of the internet. It doesn't have to be someone that has a YouTube channel at all.
Yeah.
So, but you can't really stop that. You can't really, what I should say is, you can't really stop the internet from being the internet. You can't stop social media from being social media. And there's plenty that contribute to the popularity of hunting, from conservation groups to you know, Shields Outdoor, like Cabela's, stores themselves, rifle companies. I mean, like, there's all kinds of people. You can't stop that. So you can ask people to be more careful about what they disclose, but that's not really the issue at play. I think we've just communicated, guys like Joe Rogan and so on, how awesome hunting is.
Yeah.
And so the more people who appreciate it and know how to do it, because there's educational resources and Cliff Gray's out there telling everybody how to do it, and you know, well, pretty soon, you know, you just have this high demand thing with not very much available. And I think that's kind of where we're at. What do you guys think about the solution to that problem?
I mean, my solution is that I live in Montana, but don't move to Montana.
Yeah, for sure. Being a resident of that state. What else?
You know, it's a tough one, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop talking to young people, middle-aged guys. I believe that, and I've said it many times, I love the book Wild at Heart from John Eldredge, and I believe men have a battle to fight, a beauty to rescue, and an adventure to live. And I believe hunting helps fulfill some of those things. Sometimes it's a battle to fight, to get up the mountain, to, you know, take the next hill, to do the hard work, to get the meat back to the truck, 7 miles, 8 miles back in, whatever it is. But it's also this adventure to live, right? We see wild things, and I love it. So I'm not going to stop talking about how I believe people need to get outdoors. I believe that they need to get off their phones and to spend time in nature. So I don't think we can stop talking about it. My guess is that over time, as the numbers grow, ultimately the numbers should be driven by data, and we do not want to over harvest for a particular area. And so ultimately we're going to end up shooting less elk as individuals, and we're going to help people like your son, or, you know, my son, or, you know, a friend's son, or, you know, because there's a lot of joy in helping other people kill their first bull and different things. And I have a blast doing that as well. I mean, I was a part of, I think I helped 8 or 9 bulls come off the mountain last year. And I enjoyed greatly calling in bulls for guys and helping them be successful and cut them up and just the whole process. It was incredible.
Okay, folks, if you like the show and you want to support us and you're in the market for a brand new sleeping bag, check out the Peaks Solace 15. We spent a lot of years designing that sleeping bag in partnership with Peaks Equipment. The Peaks sleeping bag has so many innovative features. The old backpacker saying that 2 is 1 and 1 is none is never more true. And this sleeping bag is so versatile. It can be a quilt. It can be a jacket. It's got armholes. It's a 3-way zipper. It regulates temperature really well. It's got the hood. It's pretty remarkable. Go check it out. Use the code GRITTY and you'll save. And it helps us keep doing what we do. Now, let's get back to the show. One of my favorite podcasts I ever listened to was Joe Rogan talking to Jim Shockey. And it's a great show. Jim basically said, and he really hammered this point home like a rock star multiple times throughout this 3-hour conversation. And he basically said to Joe, you know, it is imperative that human beings care about wildlife or that wildlife goes away.
Mm-hmm.
And he was talking a lot about Africa,
Sure.
right? Like they have to value the lion as a big game species or at least as a money maker.
Yeah.
It has to have a dollar assigned to it or people don't care anymore.
We'll destroy it.
Especially when that thing could eat your kid on their way to school, you know,
Sure.
So there's just an incentive so without enough value on like a lion, without enough value on it, the community is not incentivized to deal with the headache of it and the risks of it. But if there's a dollar value that's exponential, it's like, well, okay, we just need to learn how to travel to and from school more safely. And like, right? You're willing to endure as long as there's some value in it. And it's a cold, hard reality because when people don't have that economic value on the wildlife, they don't care about it as much. So this mule deer issue that just came up that Ryan or that Mark talked about with all the tags and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, one of his things is, hey, the way you're managing it, they're going to go away.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
Well, we've already seen that, right? I mean, he did a really good job of showing the numbers in those episodes and just the dramatic decline, and yet the amount of tag sales
mhm.
didn't decline
Right.
and coincide with that. But
So when I talk about a solution to the demand for tags, you know, being the demand is way higher than the supply, I'm thinking at some point, and I think this is likely to happen because there's so much value on the supply. I would like to see us having conversations about how to increase the supply, how to get better management of our herds so we can maximize tag opportunities. You know, I published my wolf film recently. We Both Kill. That's the title of the film. And you know, in there you see all these. I talk about wolves and managing them, and a lot of people are like, "Well, I get it, but wolves kill to eat. Humans, they just kill to hunt."
that's a misunderstanding.
And I'm like,
wolves kill to kill.
wolves kill to kill,
Yeah.
and they eat some of it. Some of it they waste.
Yeah.
But human beings, we also kill to eat. Like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. When I'm eating an elk or a deer, I'm competing with a wolf for that same elk or deer when I go out into the woods. And so it you know, getting feedback and response, I started doing a little more digging and stuff. And I had read like prior to wolf reintroduction, I think it's the Lolo herd was 16,000 head of elk. And today, I think the estimate is 2,000.
Yep.
A sustainable harvest rate is considered 5 to 10%. Let's give it the maximum, 10%.
Yeah.
That means if you have 1,000 elk, you can kill 10 of them and you won't affect the overall population number. So you can determine as a game agency what your sustainable harvest would be, you know, about 10% of the herd. So back when it was 16,000 elk, you could give out 1,600 tags, right? Now it's 2,000 elk. So now you're giving out 200 tags.
Yeah.
So you're going from 1,600 tags to 200 tags because of the reintroduction of wolves. Well, that played with demand and supply.
No doubt.
And you multiply that across multiple units in the western states that have been impacted by wolves. And now you have a serious issue where it's like, let's blame the popularity of hunting. Well, or maybe it's the serious massive reduction in wild game due to feeding it to a wolf population that's not managed, right?
Yeah.
I kind of feel like the more value we put on the wildlife, the more likely we're going to manage that wildlife better because it's worth a lot. You know what I mean? And I'd like to start having conversations about,
Well, I mean,
rather than bitching about people's social posts and we got to stop and, quit making videos about hunting. It's like, how about we just take what we have and manage it better? Get new elk herds put in new parts of the country, like,
Kentucky.
Yeah, things like that. Like, there's so much more discussion to have in terms of just maximizing supply.
So,
and one could be like trapping wolves.
I was just going to say, so if predation is a big, reason for the reduction of numbers, how do you effectively manage predators?
We have a problem because
no doubt, but
people who are uneducated on the impact of wolves, and then there's so much misinformation about what they're actually doing and what their impact has been. But it's getting out because it's undeniable, because the populations have crashed in certain pockets. Just, they're gone. The moose are gone. Like, the amount of wildlife that used to be there that's gone is gone.
Well, the environmentalist groups also are touting, how much healthier the ecosystem is, though, because of the reintroduction of the wolves. I know, like in the greater Yellowstone area, for example, right? Like, that's one of the biggest.
They had the myth of trophic cascades and all this. It's not, it's BS. Largely, there's a lot of like nonsense in there. And you used to, for example, again, you have 10,000 elk, let's say you have 16,000 elk and you're shooting 1,600. You're going to maintain 16,000 elk every year because you're only taking 10%. It's like your money in retirement, and you're going to live off the interest.
Right.
That's all that sustainable harvest is the interest portion of, your herd. So you just keep plucking that out, and then you bring in wolves, and now they're cutting into the principal. You're cutting into the main population and decreasing. Now your sustainable harvest is dropping precipitously every year until it's really low. And now there's far fewer tags now than there used to be.
Yeah.
You used to have humans eating those elk, and now you have wolves eating them instead. How do you manage that? You do things like what Idaho has done, and you reward people for shooting wolves, right? You hire government trappers and stuff, which is paid through taxpayer dollars.
Allow thermals.
You allow thermals, night hunting, like you like take all the restrictions off, and it's like you get, take out wolves. Would have been nice had we just been able to manage the population back the way we agreed. Hey, we're going to have 800 wolves or whatever it was. And when they got above and beyond that, we aggressively, kept them in check. That way you're sharing it with the wolf population. Like, the population will equalize. People are always saying, with wolves, you'll reach equilibrium. Yeah, you did. Instead of 16,000 elk, now you have 2,000. Hunters can kill 100 elk a year instead of 1,600. That has a real world cost. Like,
sure it does.
It's like, I was looking at that. I was like, okay, well, if you multiply that, and you look at how many millions of pounds of meat are estimated that are consumed each year by hunters in the form of elk, moose, and deer in the West, blah, blah, blah. According to AI, which is never wrong, you need 375,000 head of cattle.
I was going to say, ranchers love it.
To make up for that. And you need a piece of property that's like, I think it was 1/5 the size of Utah. And that property has to be perfect, like grass and water and all this stuff. Where are you going to find a piece of land 1/5 the size of Utah that all these cattle can live on to replace that lost resource for our current population that was using it before? You can't. So where do you get it instead? And it's like, well, if we just manage that resource instead of feeding it to wolves, for one, they can just disperse and live on the whole landscape, like in a natural, healthy, huntable population of elk and deer and all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
So that means you have to have the stomach to seriously manage wolves, and the will and the desire. And then you're increasing these you're feeding more to human population than wolf population, but they're still in the landscape.
Well, the funny thing about that number, too, is I'm thinking about it, instead of 200 tags, right, you're saying there would have been 1,600, right? And the average elk hunter, what's the success rate?
For bow or rifle?
I mean, I would say combined, because it's both, right? So you'd have to do an average.
I mean, I think elk...
Archery's around 10% plus or minus usually, but guns, I'm assuming more.
It's like 90.
Yeah. So let's just
80 and 90.
put it somewhere close to the middle and say 60 to 65% success rate. So instead of 1,600 more hunters out there, you would have over 2,000, closer to 2,400 probably.
Mm-hmm. Hey folks, pardon the interruption, but I've got to tell you about this new Tricer RP bipod for your rifle. This thing is incredible. It's going to take the market by storm. You're going to want one. Everyone will. It's like no other bipod on the market. It's been designed to do everything in one bipod, which is generally not what we have available to us on the market today. Use the code GRITTY over at Tricer and you will save. Whether you're shooting from a prone or sitting position, this bipod adapts seamlessly to every field environment. You're going to get rock solid stability when it matters most. This bipod includes everything for $299. You've got the long legs, the short legs, you got spikes, you got rubber feet, Arca Swiss, Picatinny compatible, plus a swivel stud to Picatinny adapter, giving you unmatched flexibility for any hunting scenario. Bottom line, this is the last bipod you'll ever need. Use the code GRITTY over at Tricer.com. You'll get a discount and you'll get the last bipod you'll ever need. All right, let's get back to the show.
There'd be that many more people going out elk hunting in a good way, so that'd
like,
be incredible.
If you multiplied before, you have an 80% decrease in tags available, roughly, with those numbers in like the low area.
Yeah.
That's an 80% decrease. If you multiply that across most of the states where we had big herds in the past and they're gone now, it's devastating.
Yeah.
Your tag opportunities are way lower than they used to be. And it's like, rather than talking about how to increase the herd sizes for greater hunting opportunity, I don't hear enough of that being talked about. Like, to me, that's a much better solution. Maximize the resource.
Yeah, but you're also kind of at a point now where you got to do more than that. I think to really revive these herds, you got to combine the wolf predator management side with
a decrease in hunting.
Like, some things that have been thrown around in Montana, for example, is, pick your weapon, pick your season, so you can't hunt elk all through archery and then elk all through rifle.
Yeah. That's got to stop.
Same thing with deer. Some of that's got to stop. They're going to make some changes there.
Which has already happened in the whitetail world in a lot of places. Like, I know, like Kansas, for example, residents have to pick. It used to be they could just go whenever.
That said, I mean, in the whitetail world, they basically have made the crossbow the same as archery season, and it's nearly as effective as a muzzleloader. So most of those states are messed up because you used to be able to issue a lot of tags because success rates with the bow is 10%, right?
Yeah.
Well, when you say a crossbow is also like a bow, but its success rate is 80%. Well, now you have to issue you might as well treat it like a rifle. So we have primitive weapon seasons for a reason,
right?
To grant more opportunity because lower success rates.
Right.
Well, then if you go and you introduce technology that's as effective as a rifle, but still call it a bow, well, now you can't issue any tags for the people willing to get opportunity, but use a more primitive weapon. It's gone. So there's lots of ways that opportunity could be managed simply by saying this is recurve only, or this is a bow without electronic sights,
which I think Oregon's got some of that. Like, you can get tags there that is strictly primitive. Like, you can only use a recurve.
Yeah, like Heart Mountain is trad only and stuff like that. There's some units there that are like that, and that's exactly what it does. Is it increases opportunity?
Yeah.
Because how many guys are going to get it done with that recurve? Almost none.
Right.
Like, so have at it, guys, right?
Yeah.
And you can get out there and get after it. And those that are willing to really work hard at a craft can then be more successful than other guys or that are fitter or whatever. So, but I do think that there is a decline in opportunity. At the same time, you got 4 tags.
I did
last year.
Yep.
Okay. And I saw some people complaining about, I think they called you asshole.
Hey.
Wow. Good deal.
And so, because, here you are getting selfishly, but I sat there and I thought about it and I'm like, man, you didn't do anything that they can't do also.
No.
Everyone can go and do the same thing, like try to hustle and get tags and apply. This isn't a rich man thing that you did.
I didn't buy any.
These are all draws and opportunities that you're going for and applications and so on.
3 of the 4 full disclosure, right? One of them was a private land, Texas, that I traded. I'm a guide on the side and do some guiding for Perennial. And I traded some guide time for the opportunity to hunt a free range elk in West Texas. So one was not open to the public.
Someone can do a trade.
Sure.
Hey, I'm a construction worker. You let me hunt your property. I'll build you this like shop or barn
or you could pay full price. Like that same outfitter runs a management hunt that you could buy full price. And the rest of them, though, I got just like everybody else.
My point is there are everyone can try a lot of these things. A lot of these tactics are open to them. So sometimes I'm torn by, and it might sound a little harsh, but I'm not big on victimhood.
Me neither.
Well, I was just going to say, Jeff and I were in communication a lot last year because we were trying to figure out, like, are we going to do a peaks filmed hunt and how are we going to make this work? And we wanted him and Mark to hunt together, and they were actually hitting a lot of roadblocks here, a lot of roadblocks there, trying to figure it out. Like,
we didn't draw where we originally wanted to draw because of point creep.
Yeah, they were going to hunt in one state, and that didn't work out because of that, and so they had to pivot to another state. And they wanted it bad enough that they put in the effort to figure it out, right? And I'm not saying that will work for everyone, but I'm just saying that if you really, really want to hunt, that's what I'm saying.
Jeff is an example, and I've seen a ton of other guys, myself included, where it's like, okay, I'm going to find a tag.
Yeah.
I'm going to find a way.
Yeah. Is it going to be the most prime tag ever?
No.
Probably not.
No, we had to look at all the numbers. There was a lot of work involved. It's not like I just said, oh, well, I'm going to chalk it up to one of these hunt services, whether it's Huntin' Fool or GOHUNT or Eastman's or whatever. I did all the work. Mark did all the work. Like, we were going back and forth. There was a lot of stuff that went into us getting a tag together, because that's the other hard part, getting a tag with people you want to hunt with.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times it ends up being the loner game, right? You go hunting by yourself because you can't get tags together, but you have to make concessions. And a lot of times it's not going to be a unit where it's covered up in 360 bulls.
Yeah. I was on the Hunter podcast with Jeremy and Jared the other day, and we got to talking about some of this stuff, this topic. And I had mentioned to them, because especially they have eyes for whitetail and almost nothing else. Right. And so in their mind, they're just like, I could do whitetail here and I could do it here. And then if I work this and I get this lease, but they're also talking about how difficult it is for them to get a good whitetail hunt.
Mm-hmm. It's
not just out west. It's everywhere. Like demand is high. And so, and their issues are a little different, and so solutions can be a little bit different. But at the end of the day, there are those that have the will, that adapt, improvise, and overcome, that find a way to get that tag. The other thing I mentioned, though, was it goes back to like dessert. You could sit there and you could eat a fudge sundae that's like not very good for you, terrible. Or you could have like something like, let's say, like a homemade strawberry shortcake that's got some strawberries, low sugar whipped cream, little honey drizzled on it, but right. And you have these two they're both treats, right? But one of them is pure poison and the other one's decently healthy, right? Like on a scale, it's not too bad. And so sometimes I feel like, well, why not try to get the healthiest version, but is still delicious, right? And so I kind of think of hunts this way too. Okay, yeah, I want to shoot a big mule deer, but what if I go to Kodiak and I shoot a big blacktail over the counter?
That's what I was
Let's
just going to
do that.
say. Yeah. Hey. I think we just talked about that.
Yeah.
Some people, I think, are so stuck on I got to hunt elk during the rut in September.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And that's all they try to do. And I think that.
And sometimes only in their state and only in their backyard.
Correct. Start looking elsewhere.
That's what I said on the show. I was like, guys, I can list off like 10 epic adventurous hunts that are very inexpensive. That pound for pound, man, dollar for adventure is high.
Yeah.
And you're missing out because you're not willing to entertain that other type of dessert.
Yeah.
And when you actually eat the two, you're like, this one's just as rewarding.
Yeah.
Without, the toxic part.
Well, and like you said, it's still an adventure.
Yeah.
Right? Like
it's a bigger adventure in
a lot
many
of times
ways.
it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I know people just love screaming bulls.
Mhm.
Right. I mean, I love screaming bulls.
I mean, Jared said,
Right.
I hear what you're saying, but I'm sick for whitetails. And nothing else.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, well, you might need to broaden the horizon because it's not that easy. There are so many cool adventures to have if you're willing to just do a little different.
Yeah.
And that's something to talk about or consider when you're having trouble getting out on a hunting adventure when you want to have one.
Yeah.
Because you're not able to get these tags like you used to.
Yeah. I mean, I love whitetail. I mean, I do.
I do too.
But I love it in Montana, right? And it's easy for me to get a tag. Too. I can go hunt whitetail in Montana every single year. And my brother and our nephews and I have gone out and we've shot more whitetail than we should.
Yeah.
Like over the years probably. But, we did see in kind of the spots we went to kind of a decline in quality of the bucks, right? And I don't think it's just because of us, obviously, but a lot more hunters out there, whatever. Mm-hmm. So the last couple of years, Jeff turned me on to Aoudad down in Texas. Mm-hmm. And I've gone and done 2 Aoudad hunts when I should be whitetail hunting in Montana. And those hunts have been incredible. I mean, it's some of the funnest hunts I've done. And I've been doing it with a buddy, we've had a blast. I've experienced new places and geography and just all the cool things that I've done the last 2 years going to Texas.
Yeah.
I never envisioned myself hunting Texas.
Yeah.
But it was just some new adventure. And now I love Aoudad hunting.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there are these kinds of alternative adventures.
Yeah.
And if you get out of the you think outside the box and you do some stuff that's fairly different and new, it'll reward you.
Yeah. And I'm not saying don't try to get the elk tag where you want it, try. But if you don't just complain that you're not getting to hunt and there's no tags and whatever. Just go find a new hunt to do.
Yeah.
And just go hunt. I think Randy Newberg's always kind of said that. He's always been like, if you want to hunt, just find a way to get a tag that you can get and go hunting. It might not be the best place or the best species or the best season or whatever, but just go hunting.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of inexpensive options, relatively speaking. I mean, I took you on a pig hunt last year. We had a blast.
That was fun.
It was so much fun. Shot them with bows, shot them with rifles, shot them with thermals. Like, that was very inexpensive. And it was adventurous. It was a lot of fun. So there's definitely a lot of options. I'm a whitetail guy too, and I'm going to give up November this year to go to Kodiak.
Yeah.
So... I'm with you.
I think, like I said, there are a lot of opportunities still out there, even over the counter ones, and guys just aren't willing to do it, or they're just too afraid to do it, or it's too foreign to them.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's not that big a deal. It really isn't. Create a plan, go have an adventure, and go do it. I remember when I just hunted for the first time out of state. I hunted in Oregon my whole life, and it was like, hey, I'm going to go to Idaho. And it was like a big deal.
Yeah.
And then after that, it was like, I'm going to go to Montana, and there was a little heyday there for a short little window. It didn't last very long.
No.
But where you could just get a tag and a couple. If I couldn't get one here, I get one there. But yeah, it is a real issue though. Like and this is what Mark is bringing to the fore on the podcast. He also basically kind of exposed the game the states are playing with tags for like elk, for example, and some of these bonus point and preference point states where it's like, you will never draw this tag. There's too much point creep. It's gone. Yeah. Or we're halfway through, 30 years of saving points and they go, oh, changing the deal. And so these things are continuing to happen.
It's real.
The thing about hunting is, if you're in certain pockets of the East, unless you have property or some degree of money, you're not hunting.
Correct.
Some access or neighbor or friend that gives you permission, it's tough.
Yeah.
And so,
But there's always an exception to that rule, right? Because you look at like the Seek 1 guys, a lot of those hunts are knocking on doors, figuring out little pieces of property. Like I've loved the phrase
golf courses and kids' backyards.
Yeah. If the dream is big enough, the facts don't count. Like, how bad do you want it, baby?
Yeah. There's no doubt. Like there are plenty of opportunities out there if you're willing, So I've actually been sort of putting my plans together year after year and sketching them out and going, okay, what could I do that is a pretty killer adventure that I could do each year, consistently. One of those is bear hunting. It's still,
no doubt.
It's still an epic adventure.
It's my number 2.
And it helps with the predation, right? Like they kill a lot of fawns.
It does. And, but the availability of tags, because guys just are wanting stuff with horns. So there's still vast areas of bear hunting available, and you run into a few here and there, but even right now, it's one of those great hunts. I mean, I enjoy it as much or more than any ungulate hunt. And talk about adventure.
Yeah, no doubt. But behind a massive rut fest, I don't know, man. Bear hunting has become, like I said, my number 2.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I got a ways to go.
We need to get you in Montana bear hunting sometime.
Let's try that.
Let's try that.
It's incredible. Like bear hunting, I said it recently. If I had to choose only one animal to hunt the rest of my life, I think I'd choose bears.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a big statement.
It is.
It's just that the spring is epic.
Yeah.
The snow melt, the birds coming out for the first time, everything's popping and coming alive, the temperature, the weather, and the ruggedness of it, where they live up there where the mountain goats are. And there's just something about a big old boar that's just stinking up the place and walking around, stomping. It's like, it gets me excited, man, as much or more than any other hunt I do. So, but again, I think you have to do it. You have to experience it. You have to try it really sometimes to really appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's a hunt to be had all the time.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's yeah. I also sort of prioritize adventure over species, and there's a lot of cool adventures out there.
Yeah, I think the older I get, the more I'm seeking adventure over anything else.
Yeah.
It's.
And they were asking Jared, on the podcast, they're like, okay, well, so what, a whitetail hunt's not adventurous, and I'm like, oh, no, you misunderstand adventure. The bigger the animal, the less adventure is needed.
That's true.
If you're going to put me in like some golf course over a 220-inch whitetail, the adventure's there.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes the bigger the animal creates the adventure. We were on that Aoudad hunt this year. We're on one mountain and we got another guy on another mountain, and we get a message that's like, we just found Big Daddy. And we had like an hour to get off where we were, get across the ranch and up another mountain.
Down the same mountain that one of the guys fell going down it and broke and fractured his knee. So it was steep.
So we're hauling out of this place, going down this mountain. We get in Jeff's truck. He's driving like a maniac across this ranch.
I got airborne.
I mean, he was Dukes of Hazzarding that truck. It was crazy.
I put the old Tundra hard.
So we had about an hour of just epic adventure.
Yeah.
From one spot to the next. Something I would have never experienced.
No.
In any other situation.
It was fun.
It was fun.
And that's the truth. Like, there's no animal, I've said this before, there's no animal that kind of excites me more than a massive Coues deer. Like, massive. And there's almost no animal that excites me less than just an average Coues deer. So unless it's gargantuan, I'm like bored. That's just an ugly little whitetail, But then when you find those moose-like critters, or there's just heavy horn stickers and trash, it's just like, it's one of the coolest things you ever see. But again, like, size of animal really helps with the like, I went and did a hunt with True North that my friend Jason Hansen took me on. And we got up there and it was black bears, and I shot 2 7+ foot black bears with my bow. Giant bears, big old bears, 7.5. Like they're
That's great.
big black bears. And I shoot these black bears, and but it wasn't hard. Like they come into this bait, and then I had them drill my bow back, and it was like a 19-yard shot, and I smoked them, you know. But they're so big. It was plenty of adventure for me,
Yeah.
you know. There's just something cool about being 10 feet from a behemoth black bear.
Yeah.
That's just like chasing other bears off and like acting away. And so, again, like there's something, and that's a fairly affordable hunt, you know, when you stack it up out there. So
Yeah.
other hunts too are wolf hunts, you know, you can now do those every year, you know, and there's a ton of dudes that are buying tags and going out in December and January and so on. And their whole goal is to track wolves and hunt wolves. And that is a pretty killer adventure too. It's hard. It's tough, but guys are doing it and they're getting it done. Not every year, but, again, it's another adventure that's out there, you know.
Yeah.
So anyway, what's your guys' plan this year? Big adventures?
Well, I mean, I'm told that I might be going bear hunting with Brian in Montana, so that's a possibility.
We need to do it. We just got it.
I'm done. Okay, I'm in.
But this year's with a bow. What do you think, Bryce?
I mean, we had a long conversation about this the other day.
We have to guarantee results.
In that,
guaranteed.
Look, I know, you know where this is at.
I'm not scared.
There's no place where I've hunted bears out west in the spring where there's any guarantee with a bow. You see bears, but getting one with a bow, it's not because they're particularly sneaky. It's just they just leave by the time you get there.
Right.
And there's no density. Like bears are not dense in general. Like you see one and then it's like 8 miles to the next bear. It's not like deer and elk. So, but I look back on all the bears I've shot with a rifle in the spring, and I could spot and stalk and have killed a third of them without a doubt. I just wasn't bow hunting. And then there's some I shot like out of a tree, like at 20 yards with a rifle when I could have shot them with a bow. So there are, the opportunities are there. It just takes more days as a bow hunt would.
I just told Jeff that I'll bring the rifle. You guys can bring the bows.
Well, I think someone should.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. I think that's perfectly, like, first of all, there's a lot of bears, like in some of the areas I want to go to, but they're not all gettable with a bow.
Yeah, and half of them are grizzly bears, so you know.
Well, there is that adventure of
we
it.
need adventure.
Oh, it's an adventure.
I see, but here's what I see. I look around at who's doing a spring bear hunt with their bow and actually getting a bear consistently each year.
Yeah, I don't see guys doing that very often.
Like on your over-the-counter bear hunts in the spring.
Yeah, no.
I only see really Brian Barney.
Yeah.
He's a killer.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's not every year, but on average.
Jared Lyle used to get it done all the time when he lived up there.
Yeah.
He killed some nice bears.
So what I have seen for those guys, like Brian Barney, is it's a 3 to 4 week investment to get that thing with a bow. It's time.
Yeah.
It's time.
We got like 7-8 days.
Well, you do. Like I have whatever I want.
Oh, okay. I have Peaks equipment to sell.
I mean, I don't know. I know that it's like with a rifle, we get a bunch of bears. We get a few bears.
For sure.
But with a bow, it's a challenge. But
look, I think you guys should try it. I'm just saying, like,
he's saying you can't get it done. That's what he's
That's
saying.
not what I'm
Remember
saying.
that
No,
vengeance?
That's not what I'm saying.
no, like I can get it done. Look, it's just time.
Yeah.
It's just enough time out there, because you might get it done on your first stalk in the right spot and the bear's just there. But that is
I'm your Huckleberry.
That's not, that's tough.
I'm taking it as a challenge that you're saying I can't get it done. So
I'm not saying you can't get it done. I'm just saying I know that spot, and I know
all the spots. Like, do you know one that's?
I know some other spots.
He also told me he was real concerned we weren't going to get it done in Wyoming this year. Like, there was a lot of pressure to get it done. True?
For elk.
Hey, I never doubted that you wouldn't get it done. I just, what did I say? I said, don't pass up anything. Just shoot it.
He's like, we have got to get a kill on film.
See,
We have got to.
I feel like at this point, Jeff and I go out and try to get bears with bows, and I'm at that stage where, I wanted to get bears. I wanted the skins. I wanted the meat. I wanted, this experience. And I didn't need a bow to make it an even greater. It was high enough adventure.
Yeah.
I've done it so many times, Bryce.
Oh, I know. Look.
And so now I'm like,
a bow would be epic.
I'm like, I kind of want to, just
raise the ante.
Raise the ante.
Yeah.
And I thought about it. I'm like, in the past, when I go on a lot of hunts and nothing happens, I don't really make a film out of it. I just move on because there's nothing to really tell.
Yeah.
But I think this is one of those stories I'd tell anyway, because I think we will come close, even if we didn't get one. At the very least, we'll have to dodge grizzlies and other things. So
sounds fun.
There is no doubt going to be an adventure component, and we probably will be rafting a long way out.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a hat out of bacon. It's going to be great.
So there's so much. What I'm saying is there's going to be an adventure whether we get to fling an arrow or not.
Yeah, I know.
But I don't know. My question is can Jeff keep up?
I've never hunted in the elk woods with Jeff, but I know a lot of people who have, and I know that Jeff leaves a lot of them in the dust, so I think he's going to be okay.
I do pretty good for a chubby guy. It cost me an elk a long time ago. I remember I hunted one time in Colorado, and I was out of shape, and it cost me an elk. And since then, I have made sure that every year, anytime I'm going on a hunt, I get ready. Like I put a lot of miles in. So
yeah,
it'll be good.
I think so. I think I'm just at that stage too where I have a lot of bow hunts planned for the year.
So spring bear, Kodiak in
November, archery mule deer, and I might be able to do Alberta. I'm working on mule deer with the connection I have. Yeah.
Nice.
And then I've got Nathan. I want to go with Nathan Endicott to hunt blacktails.
Oh yeah, that's sweet.
Where I grew up.
Yep.
And Nathan gets up in that deep snow on the top of the mountain every year and kills big bucks. I'm like, what you need, Nathan, is for me to film that and you to film me. And we need to go have an adventure.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And he's like, deal, let's do it. So that's another one I want to do. So I haven't, I really have, no rifle hunts really. I'll have this wolf one coming up that I'm doing. And I have maybe another one, so if I can get a tag for like a late season elk or deer or something. But for the most part, I've decided, this year I really want to try to get it done with the bow.
Yeah.
And it's been a long time. I mean, I've been able to do a little more of that before. One of the reasons is tags, getting tags. I could get some late season deer tags and stuff like that, rifle, and have some great adventures. And I was having a hard time getting an archery tag for like elk in September. I couldn't draw one.
Yeah.
So that was part of what was driving my hunt selection is what I could get tag wise. Second thing that was driving it was I'm self-filming.
Yeah.
I didn't have the budget to just hire a dude to follow me around. Now I'm rolling in the dough. So now I can hire. Now I do have more budget for that. So if I work it out and I bring a guy along, like Tyree came and he was able to film my goat hunt, and I could bring, Brian on my deer hunt. And now I can make films that are a lot more impactful when I have a cameraman, and I can get away with it with no cameraman when I'm rifle hunting. I don't like self-filming a bow hunt. It doesn't, it's like a recipe for, I don't like what you end up with either as a viewer. It's cool to see a guy get it done by himself with a GoPro mounted to the end of his bow or something, or a 360 cam, but it's not the sort of epic show I want to, it's not how I want the viewer to follow me on a hunt. It's not the viewpoint I want them to have. So that means I'd rather do a rifle hunt and film it a different way, like by myself than like that. So, but now I'm at that point where I can do it. I can get a bow hunt filmed and underway. So I have a lot of that planned. I want to go to Africa, and it sounded like we could bow hunt maybe.
Definitely. I killed everything with a bow.
Yeah, and couldn't we just
we want to do a backcountry kudu hunt.
I want to do that like yesterday.
Yeah.
And when he told me that we could,
we've got it ready.
When he told me we could backpack in and then we'd have to like take turns on lion duty, I was like, sign me up. Are you kidding me? Like, we got to go into the bush and then camp out there and maybe get 8. And
I'm in.
We're going to have like fires and lights around to keep from like getting eaten.
I mean,
that sounds
Ghost
like
in the dark.
That's right. Like, I'm like, that's an adventure. That's more the sort of, an African hunt that's like exciting because so much of Africa seems like it's been, fenced or canned. Over a water hole or canned or something. This is so much more interesting.
I mean, some of those concessions over there, man, are
giant.
Like 30,000+ acres. It's pretty much free range animals that you're trying to go after. And in talking with him over there, it's like there are good opportunities to go, backpack hunting.
Yeah. Yeah. They just don't because they don't need to.
Yeah, they just don't need to.
I want to do it though.
I think, dude,
let's make it happen.
We're going to make it happen.
Let's book this thing.
Okay. He'll be in Denver.
Good. Okay.
Yeah, he will be.
I want to.
You will.
I won't be there.
I want to make sure we get, like, I just think Africa is another one of those things where back in the day, Africa was out of my price range.
Yeah.
Now it feels like Africa has dropped so much in price and the adventure is so good for the money you pay versus some North American species. I was talking to Pedro the other day and he's like, Brian, it's cheap for me to hunt on almost any other part of the world except America.
Yeah. Well, when my son and I went over there last August, man, it was such a fun trip. Yeah. I mean, first of all, father and son is a great thing anyways, but just, I don't know, man, just the experience.
I've never seen those animals alive on the hoof.
It's amazing.
I want to see it.
It's cool. And I was like, dude, you could wait your entire life trying to afford a sheep hunt in Alaska, right? Like, and you might not ever be able to afford it.
And we turn our nose up to something in Africa, which is totally in your price.
For a fraction of the cost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I mean by like not taking advantage as a hunter of like out of the box opportunities that are affordable.
Yeah.
Yeah. I hunted this one spot that was, I think it was 65,000 acres. And this particular place was high fenced, but it was 65,000 acres. And the reason it was high fenced is because they had rhinos in the center of it that they would guard with helicopters because people would cut the horns off and stuff. And so they went ahead and high fenced this place. And I'll never forget, I was chasing a black wildebeest and I come around the corner and there's a rhino at like 100 yards just walking across. It was like seeing a dinosaur for the first time. You're like, is that real? I'm like, oh my gosh. And it was incredible. Yeah. It was quite an experience, or a cheetah,
I know.
And you're like, no
the animals are
way.
Rad, dude. It's like, we're so used to this Western big game stuff. You get over there and you see these sables and these wildebeests and impalas and everything. Just these animals we're just not accustomed to seeing or hunting.
Yeah.
And it was so fun.
It was.
And I was like, man, this was, sometimes hunting is a grind and you end the season and you're just wore out and you're kind of like, ugh. But going over there, it was just fun. The whole thing. It
was. I saved at the time that I went last and killed a bunch of animals. I think I put $6,000 or $7,000 aside, like, just working and getting everything. And the problem was when we were looking for a particular animal, in this case, it was a kudu. It seemed like every time I turned around, it was like, oh, there's a herd of blue wildebeest. Oh my gosh. Like you could tell, like there's an old one and I'm like, oh crud, that's $1,100. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. Like, all right. You swoop around this mountain and drop down into this canyon. And I spent like 2.5 hours sneaking up on this bedded, there was like 40 of them, but this one bull was right on the edge. And every time the PH was like, are you going to shoot it? And I'm like, I need time. Like I got to get in just the right spot. Finally worked up to 45 yards, shot him, and one shot, dead. We get up there, and as we're cleaning it, there's a bullet in him from another gun hunter, and he was the guy that I was hunting with was so excited when I shot this thing because he'd never seen anybody shoot anything with a bow that he picks me up off the ground and he chipped my tooth.
Really?
He was so excited. And he's like, I've never seen anything like that. Because, he's right behind me watching this arrow just crush it.
Wow.
And every time we went somewhere, like another animal would pop up. And I'm like, I didn't really want to kill a water buck, but my gosh, like, that's incredible. Let's do it.
And that's just the other thing about being over there is there's so many different opportunities to hunt different species, all within a short window of time. And I know that's different than, the hunt we want to go do over there now. But like, if you want to get experience and just...
Oh, did you hear zebras over there?
Oh, dude, we shot a zebra.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Like, you don't hear zebras at the zoo over here. They don't make noise. Over there, they are loud.
Yeah, they're crazy.
It's incredible. I never wanted to go zebra hunting till I went over there, and I'm like, oh, they're wild.
There's two animals that I want to take in Africa, the zebra and the Cape buffalo.
Oh, I'm shooting a Cape.
Those are the two that interest me the most.
I'll shoot a Cape someday for sure.
I want a big Duggo boy.
The zebra was great, man. My son shot the zebra, and the adventure even for that zebra, dude, we had to climb up a mountain just like you would here.
Yeah.
We had to track around. We had to find it.
Since I was a little boy, like zebras fascinate me, and hunting them I just think they're the coolest.
The meat wasn't horrible either. Our guy at the camp would cook the stuff that we shot the day before, and then he'd serve it to us. And I mean, I was like, dude, this is
steak,
pretty good.
Yeah. I was watched recently. Steven Ranella on Meat Eater came out with like a 3-part African episode.
Oh, nice.
2-part, 3-part. And I think he just walked you through it, and he's like, I was sitting here, he said, I turned my nose up basically.
Yeah.
To the African thing, or just sort of ignored it or poo-pooed it or put it in the corner. And he's like, am I really going to dismiss an entire continent of like awesome wild game just because I don't know why? And he's like, and then he went there and he's like, I had it all wrong in my head.
Yep.
I had it all wrong in my head. And now that I've done it, I think I spent way too many years of my life never coming here.
Yeah.
Yes.
What was I thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought it'd be this one and done trip. I thought, we'll go over there, we'll shoot some animals, I'll get my fix, I'll be done. I can check that off my list. By the time we ended that week, I had already planned out like 4 more trips to go back because of all the different species that I'm like, now I want to go hunt there.
Yeah.
And so I think I'll probably end up going back at least another 4, maybe 5 times.
Yeah. I never wanted to shoot a giraffe until I ran into them.
Dude, they wanted me to shoot one on that trip so bad.
Oh, I'll never forget the first time I'm stalking.
That seems insane to me, by the way. That's a giant animal.
I'm telling you.
We were watching them like within like 40 yards this one point.
Yeah.
It's like a dinosaur.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, I came around this one thing, and all of a sudden, I'm like,
I don't know if
my God.
I don't know if I want one of those.
They're moving.
Don't. Just wait till you go.
It's so crazy to watch them because they
see
look
'em run?
like they're moving in slow motion.
Yeah.
But when you
They
time
cover
from
ground.
here to there, they're so fast.
When they're in a
because
full bore, when he saw that, and we made eye contact, and I'm like, oh, crud. This herd of like 4 of them all of a sudden, and they get going.
It's crazy.
It's insane. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. That's one of those. It's for some reason, I don't have a soft spot. For some reason, when I think of giraffe, I just hate to see them knocked over on the ground. They seem like they need to remain standing. Like, kill an elephant, kill this, kill that. For some reason.
I don't know. I got to find some of these pictures.
Killing a giraffe, I find disturbing.
Dude.
Just go over there before
I could eat a
put
monkey.
it in a box.
I could eat anything. I could kill anything. For some reason, and this has been a long time this way, like when I think of shooting a giraffe, I'm just like, I don't like it.
I never wanted one until I went.
Dude, they're
never
amazing.
even, not even close.
Yeah.
Till I went.
That's what I mean. Like, I want to go and just sort of experience it. The other thing I want is, we're at the sheep show. I want a sheep. I just don't know how to make it happen.
Right.
It's just so expensive.
It is.
And the brown bear, Peninsula, Kodiak, that's the other one. Again, it's so expensive.
I've considered moving to Alaska for a year.
I have too, but even then, though,
it's expensive.
It's going to take, people I know go out every year and they don't get a ram. You got to live there. I mean, you got to be capable.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. It's a cool thing. I want to hunt sheep. It's just the cost, man.
Yeah, it's so expensive.
It is.
And back to, look at how many hunts you could do in different places
100%.
for the same price.
Oh,
And I don't know that pound for pound that adventure is worth it. Like, for example, I've killed 3 mountain goats. It was pretty good adventure. Do I really need the horns to be different? I mean, I'm hunting the goats right next to the sheep.
yeah.
The other thing is tar in New Zealand,
Yeah.
I would argue like where I was hunting tar was as badass as any sheep hunt I've ever been on, and as epic. I mean, in fact, that was
less money.
That was the scariest hunt I've ever done.
Yeah.
By a wide margin. Those mountains were
steep and
dangerous and cliffed, and like that was some dumb stuff we did.
Well, I was just talking to Zion today, and he was like, "Dude, you got to come to New Zealand."
Yeah, like adventure wise, if you want a mountain goat sheep style adventure, just like with a bow and arrow or otherwise, I mean,
at a fraction,
it's nothing
of the cost. Yeah,
it's not. It's cheaper for me to go to New Zealand and do that than to hunt elk in Montana.
Yeah,
like it's ridiculous. And again, there's that whole adventure to be had, and no one's stopping you.
Yeah, for sure.
So I don't know, guys. Just makes me think. So we have a lot of adventures ahead.
I was going to say, sum it all up. I just go have an adventure.
That's right, because you're not going to get a tag here unless you're a resident.
That's right. Sorry.
I've gotten some good tags. Like there's certain tags that every resident out west will get. If you're a resident in a western state, like if you're in Arizona, you got certain perks. Montana, you got certain perks. Idaho, Utah, you get certain perks.
Yeah.
And tags are attainable for you there. And I'm sure if you live in Iowa, you have perks, right?
Sure.
So there is the resident strategy for getting a tag for sure. But outside of that, there is so many cool stuff. This Kodiak trip is going to be badass.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's going to be fun.
It's going to be wet and cold.
Perfect.
That's why we have good gear.
Big bucks. That's where the peak skaters, poles, hot tent. Here's the thing I want to do is just show how the hot tent is so effective, because a lot of people see Kodiak, they see Tundra, and they think, oh, it's sort of like some of the Eastern, like mule deer hunts, plains type hunts that I've done in the past. It's like, there's wood to burn. It's like right in front of you.
Yeah.
You just think it's all grasses, but it's not. And having a little bit of wood you pick up here and there and a little cut or a little drop, and you're after some blacktail and you're like, oh,
there's a stick,
there's a patch of wood right here. You mark it on your GPS, or you just load it on your pack and you carry it for the rest of the day. And you just kind of pick up wood every now and then here and there, and having fire on a hunt like that is a game changer.
Yeah, for sure.
Draw out each night, start out ready to fresh the next day.
Yeah.
And then living on the top of the mountains up there in Kodiak, the views are epic over bays and the ocean, and being able to be up there. That's the key with a bow, I think. Cause if you have to walk down, walk up, walk down, cause you're kind of still hunting a little bit, cause by the time they're in rut, by the time you get over to where you saw that buck with a bow, he's long gone,
Yeah.
But if you're just in certain saddles and pinch points with your bow, and you're kind of still hunting or moving around, and these bucks are nuts, fighting each other and going all over, and you can even rattle them right up to you. So
yeah,
it should be a fun little adventure.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
So, well, folks, that's it for us. We're going to go to bed. Hit the sheep show again tomorrow.
No talk about the hat trick?
No.
All right.
No. We have a movie night at the Western Hunt Expo.
Correct.
And Gritty Peaks movie night. And you can get tickets at staygritty.com.
Yep.
There's $10,000 in prizes.
Yep.
There's 2 awesome movies. So if you want to go, if you're going to the Hunt Expo, you got to go to the Gritty movie night.
Yeah.
I mean,
Thursday night.
I would argue it's the best event at the expo.
Well, I've been to it, and it's quite the show. It's
fun, man.
A lot of fun.
It really is.
It
it's is. You're not. See, my issue with, not to throw too much shade, just a little shade on like the full draws and stuff. A lot of this is just amateur people putting some movies together and putting them in a theater, and it's fun. But when you come to a Gritty movie night, you're watching a movie, a great outdoor film that is impactful, intense, and on a big screen. The sound, the visuals, and then just the camaraderie and the brotherhood. There's an atmosphere there of all these. There's like 500 hunters in that room, all hanging out, and it's fun.
Well, and like Jeff said, the prelude to the big show is their elk hunt from this year, which is pretty epic. I mean, I'm not going to spoil anything, but you're going to have a phenomenal prelude film to then a epic grizzly bear hunt.
Yes.
And it's going to be
gonna be
a
fun.
fun night.
Yep.
Lots of prizes.
It is February 12th, which is the Thursday of the Western Hunt Expo.
Yep.
And the last couple times we started the thing like at 6, and people had a hard time getting out of the show
Yeah.
to make it in time. And so, especially those of our friends and stuff that work in the show.
Yeah.
So we pushed it to 7:30. So it starts at 7:30 and goes to like 9:30.
Yeah.
And we extended the window so it's a little bit longer so we can show 2 films and get all the raffles done and stuff. And we have some great, you can win a rifle, you can win a rifle scope, a whole like shooting package, archery package, backcountry camping package, and backpack and hiking, all that. So yeah, it's going to be a fun night. So go to staygritty.com if you're going to be at the expo and join us on Thursday night. Get some tickets there, and you can get raffle tickets too. And yeah, it's going to be fun.
Yep. Looking forward to it.
All right, folks. Thanks for tuning in. Stay gritty.